I'm Jack Griffin, and normally you hear me talking on WCIA about the weather, but my big passion, cars, and I love detailing cars. And so one of the things that I thought would be kind of important in this time, as well as with all the news going on about the coronavirus, is not only how can you clean your car, but also how can you disinfect it as well, because we're all trying to slow down the spread of COVID-19, and there are a couple of different ways that you can help to not only kill everything in terms of germs in your car, but also help to slow the spread as well. Before we get started, we're going to have to make sure that we establish the differences between cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. If you just clean a surface, you're just getting rid of the dirt, the grime, the muck, that kind of stuff. You're not actually getting rid of any germs, viruses, or anything like that. However, if you are talking about sanitizing and disinfecting, then at that point you're talking about getting rid of germs as well as other bacteria, like I said, viruses, things like that that are going to be more than just surface level. So a couple things to keep in mind here when it comes to detailing and cleaning out your cars. You know, we may say that you're detailing or cleaning a car, but we're going to be not only cleaning the car, but also sanitizing it and disinfecting it as well. There are going to be a number of different obstacles that we may come up with, and the main thing with the interior of your car is that it's made of a lot of different materials. You've got plastic, you've got leather, you've got cloth, you potentially may have some aluminum, carbon fiber, leather, wood, all that stuff, and that's all different types of materials. And so you can't use just one single type of cleaner or disinfectant on it, because in some instances it could damage it. The one thing though across the board do not use is going to be anything that has bleach in it. Bleach will kill the virus, so we're talking about it will do a very good job of killing the coronavirus. The problem is it's going to potentially damage your leather. It could cause there to be the dyes in the plastic to cause that to run. There's going to be a lot of different issues with the bleach, and so while it is effective in cleaning as well as disinfecting and really killing the coronavirus that could be lurking on your steering wheel or on your armrest, it's not going to be good for those surfaces. And so we have to go about this a little bit differently, and as a result we're going to show you how you can clean some areas of your car, you can disinfect other spots of your car, and by targeting those areas you'll help to minimize the damage as well as make sure that everything is clean and sanitary. When it comes to having bleach in your cleaning supply, if the product that you're using doesn't specifically say bleach on it, look for sodium hydrochloride. If it has that in the ingredients as an active ingredient, then bleach is in there. So just look out for sodium hydrochloride and avoid using that in your interior of your car. I brought my cleaning supplies with me, as well as some of my disinfecting types of equipment as well too. I like to car detail, and if you like to do the same thing as well, you may have already some automotive cleaners that you may have around the house. That's going to be good, especially an all-purpose one like this. The reason why those are nice, it's designed for the car, you know it's going to work in the car, and you can use it on any surface as well, like your leather, like your dashboard, like the plastic. So those are going to be good as well. You've got your glass cleaner, can't go wrong with that. Don't use this though on your plastic areas or on the leather, because that will damage it. But if you use it on the glass, it's obviously good there. And with the ammonia in there, it'll help to get rid of the virus too. Now, some of the things that you're going to bring from home that you definitely should have, some disinfectant wipes, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The thing is though, if you don't have automotive cleaners like I have, you don't need to have those. The thing that you can get away with, and in fact it's going to be the most effective, is going to be dish soap. The reason why we're going to use dish soap for these demonstrations is because you probably don't have the automotive cleaner in your house. But also too, you've been hearing on TV about all the doctors saying wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Well, what the soap does is it gets rid of that one layer over the coronavirus that keeps it from attaching and really sticking to skin as well as other particles. And so if you use soap, what you're doing is you're eliminating that layer, you prevent the coronavirus from replicating, and you prevent it from sticking to your skin too. So the good thing is that soap is obviously very effective for us. The thing is too, when we're talking about your car, soap is a very gentle product. Some of these cleaners, especially your disinfectants, are going to be very harsh, and that's why we have to be careful on some surfaces. The thing is, the gentle soap will be good on any surface, and as a result of that, you can use it on things like your dashboard, on your leather, on your steering wheel, things like that, and it's going to be good. So all I gotta do is just take some water. I got some water in this bucket here. It can be any temperature, and you're just gonna put the dish soap in and then spin it around too. Get it all nice and lathered up. So you don't want to have too much soap in there. However, Like I said, soap is a nice, gentle product, and as a result of that, it's not going to damage any of the interior parts. We'll now show you how to use some of that coming up. Now, as we begin the process, we can start doing a couple of things right off the bat. First off, though, I do want to say, though, when it comes to your car's exterior, the outside of your car, because of the fact that it's exposed to the elements, the sun shines on it, the coronavirus is actually not likely going to be on the exterior of your car. It lives inside where you touch everything and where it's all enclosed. However, there are a couple of touch points, and we're going to use that word touch points a bit in this video because those are where you touch things. So before we get started on cleaning the car, have to obviously make sure that we follow proper protocol and we put on our gloves. These are going to make sure that we stay safe as we clean this because you know, you're probably cleaning your car less than you're cleaning your bathroom. You wipe off your computer quite a bit now. The thing is, though, you're probably not cleaning out the inside of your car, and your steering wheel could be pretty nasty. In fact, some reports have said that your steering wheel is actually dirtier than your toilet. So we'll start with number one. Easy thing first, we can disinfect our keys. We know that that's going to be a plastic, and we know it's going to be safe for our disinfecting wipes. So just go ahead and get your keys. Doesn't matter if you've got a key fob like this one is, or if you have a regular key. Just get those all disinfected here. Again, you probably don't remember the last time that you disinfected your car keys. Now you probably do, and now that you think about it, you'll probably want to do this every single day now. So as those get all nice and cleaned up, we're good to go with our keys. We can now put them back in our pocket, and we know that they're good to go now. I'm going to put this in my bag. And the next thing that we're going to do, the only thing we're going to do on the outside, we're going to take one of our disinfecting wipes, and we are going to get the door handles because we touch those every single day. So get it underneath there, get it on top, and it's okay because there's paint on there. It's going to work. So we will talk a little bit more in depth about how to use the disinfecting wipes once you're inside, but on the outside, as well as your key fob, you're now good to go. So we're going to start cleaning first. This will help to get rid of any grime and any surface level impurities that you're going to have, which will make it easier for the disinfectants to work later on. We recommend that you go from a top to bottom approach. So you're going to start off at the top. Think of everything that you touch in your car and clean that first. This would mean going from your visors all the way down to the plastic that's close by to the bottom of your carpet. So we're going to go in a top to bottom fashion here, and you're going to see that. Now, again, like I said, I could use my automotive cleaner, but since you may not have that, we're just going to use our soap and water solvent that we have. Again, that's just regular dish soap, and if you've got a microfiber cloth, that's going to be the best for using it on the interior. If you don't have that, obviously any type of cloth will do, but the microfibers are nice. They got a little bit of extra little scrubby things in there that you can do that. And you may notice that we moved the car. We had to move the car for lighting purposes, so you can actually see it. So again, top down, think about it. If you go use your garage door openers, your sun visor every day, and then just work your way down. And again, soap and water, safe to use on all the surfaces. So like I said, you can use soap and water. It's a safe product to use across all of your different surfaces. The thing is, though, as you get your microfiber cloth or whatever cloth you're using all nice and wet with the soap and water, if it's dripping like that, you're going to cause even more issues because you're now going to have electrical problems or moisture problems within your car too. You don't want to do that. So make sure that you wring it out. And again, like I said earlier, the temperature of the water doesn't matter. As long as it's soap and water, you're going to be good to go. So now, like I said, we're going to go from the top to the bottom. You don't want to rub too hard on these different surfaces because you could create some damage. However, just a good gentle rub like that will be good. Especially on your headliner, there's glue that holds it up there. You don't want to go too hard or else you could hurt the glue. But just go from top to bottom, your mirrors, your garage door opener, your rear view mirror. Now your steering wheel. Again, get this all nice and cleaned out. And again, since we are using a soap and water compound, it is going to be good to use. The solution will be easy to use, not only for, it's not going to damage the leather, it's not going to damage the plastic. It's a nice gentle material, it's a nice gentle cleaner, and it does a trick there. But again, we're not disinfecting anything right now, we're just cleaning it. So just keep that in mind, is that what you're doing is definitely helping in terms of preventing the spread of coronavirus, but you're not killing it just yet. You're just cleaning this off. Again, everything that you can think of that you touch. Your turn signals are going to be good to get that as well. And let's talk about more things here too. Your shifter, getting that cleaned. Your touchscreen. All this is good to use, and all this is safe to use as well. All your buttons for your radio knobs, your climate control, all that is going to be good to go. And again, since we're going to be going again from top to bottom, I'm just highlighting a couple of different spots that you could be doing. Again, we want to be really getting the entire surface here to make sure that it is fully cleaned up. Last thing that we'll keep on going is the center console right here, and another very dirty spot will be in your cup holders right here. When was the last time you ever cleaned out your cup holders? Probably it's been a long time. So this is going to be good to getting rid of all the germs that you have in here. Again, you're not killing the virus, but what you're doing is you're putting the soap on these different areas, and that will help to get rid of that layer on the virus itself, which will prevent it from sticking to other surfaces and then spreading further transmission. Now that the car is cleaned off, and again, you used that microfiber towel or cloth and you wrung it out, so there wasn't a lot of water left, but you still are going to have a little bit of some water that's going to be left over. So it's fine to go ahead and take a clean microfiber cloth or another type of cloth and hit all the spots that you just did with your cleaning solution. Again, the fact that you used soap and water, dish soap and water, means that it's going to be safe to use on all surfaces. But by you wiping things away, you're just getting rid of that little bit of residue. It'll look better. But again, what you just did to your car is going to be safe to do so. However, now that we have the car cleaned up, we're going to talk about how disinfecting is a little bit different and why we may not want to totally disinfect the entire car. I only went through a couple different spots on the car. Hopefully you've gone from the top to bottom of your entire car and have it cleaned now. So it's going to be nice and clean and ready for disinfecting. I prefer wipes. However, if you do have spray and that's all that you have, a disinfecting spray, what you want to use is spray it directly into your another clean towel or microfiber cloth and apply it on here. But I'm going to use wipes. Doesn't matter your wipes that you have as long as it's disinfecting. The thing you want to look out for, and if we get the camera to come closer, we'll have to make sure that it's actually EPA certified. Right there is the EPA number, and I actually have a link in the article itself that you can check your brand of cleaning supplies and if it's going to work against the coronavirus. This one actually is good to go with it. It'll kill various types of coronaviruses like that. But one other thing too that you want to look at, again, also on the back packaging of it, is, again, we're talking about the difference between cleaning and disinfecting. Cleaning it, you can use a cleaning disinfecting wipe like this, go once over, wipe it away, and that's cleaning it. The thing is, it didn't disinfect it. So with these instructions, to sanitize it, you want to leave it sit there wet for 10 seconds. But if you want to disinfect everything, you're going to want to have the surface remain wet for 4 minutes. And so with 4 minutes of having a surface that is using stronger chemicals in your car may not be ideal. For example, if I were to use these wipes and go on the top of my dashboard where it gets very hot, even when it's not that warm out, as long as there's direct sunlight, it gets very hot up there. If I have this entire thing wet for 4 minutes with disinfecting wipes, I very well could end up staining this car in my dashboard with it. So I probably will not actually disinfect the dashboard up there. Keep in mind too, I'm not actively touching it up there all the time anyways. So it's okay to let that one go. You've cleaned it, that's going to be good enough. But for your steering wheel, you obviously touch this every single day. Your touchscreen, your shifter. So spots like that, you're going to want to also hit up too. And so what I'm going to first do here is, because the lighting is best, I'm going to actually have it on the door handle right here. And so, again, because this is touched every single time you get in and out of your car, it's also a nice hard plastic too. I can disinfect this properly. And again, to disinfect it, I need it to stay wet here for a while. So right now, it is now past just being clean. The entire spot has been moist now for at least 10 seconds, so this is now sanitized. But you may need to keep on using more and more of your wipes to have it fully disinfected. Again, according to my bottle, I have to have this wet for 4 minutes. So just keep that in mind. This plastic's going to be okay, because it's a harder plastic. I've got different rubberized plastic for the rest of the door. It will likely not be that good on there, but I don't touch this all the time, but I do touch my door handle every single time. So this is now going to be clean. Another spot that you want to obviously do will be your steering wheel. And actually what we're going to do is with the steering wheel, we also have a different types of materials on here. We have the leather, but then we also have the plastic, and we have the buttons too. So make sure you get all the buttons. If you're using your hands-free device like I've got on mine, I hit those buttons a lot. The volume controls, mine are on the back of the steering wheel, so make sure you hit those too. Just get the whole steering wheel, because again, like I said, when was the last time you've ever disinfected your steering wheel? It's probably pretty gross. I don't want to think about the different germs that are on this, but now it's going to be good to go. Okay, so the steering wheel now is pretty much fully cleaned off here. So it just depends on how clean you want it to be. If you are okay with just the soap and water or the automotive cleaner, that's going to have cleaned everything, and that definitely does help. But if you want to take it a step further and sanitize and disinfect stuff, when we use more of the harsher chemicals, you're going to have to use disinfecting wipes or things like this. So as it now air dries, my steering wheel is now air drying, and I can tell that it's going to be okay. One of the things you may have to look out for will be different types of plastics, different types of leathers. If you have a nicer car, this may actually not work very well. It sometimes seems like the less expensive the car, the less expensive the materials, and they actually clean easier. The higher end stuff ends up being harder to clean because it's nicer stuff. So if this was actually a nicer car with better leather, I may have actually stained this, but I know this is okay because I've done this on my car before. So one of the things you might want to do would be to test out your wipe in a spot that you won't notice it. So if you're afraid to take the wipe directly to a spot that you're going to see all the time, maybe go in the back of your steering wheel and put it on that spot and let it see how that goes. So then you would then obviously have to get down low here and check the spot. But if it ends up being okay and it didn't damage or discolor anything, then you'd be good to go with the rest of your car. So it's going to be a trial and error thing. Again, you've got different materials in here. The trial and error will be important for you to make sure that you're cleaning your car in a way that's not going to damage it. So we've cleaned the car. We're disinfecting the touch points where you touch often. You just saw me do the door handle as well as the steering wheel. We're now going to do the touch screen and then the shifter. Just think about all the things that you touch on a daily basis within your car. And those would be the spots that you want to sanitize. I know that I use sanitizing wipes on my phone, so I know the screen is going to be okay. Go ahead and just get it right there. It does leave behind some residue, so if you want to wipe it off, you can. Also, getting the buttons too, getting a nice even coating across all the different surfaces there. Don't forget if you got the push button start, don't forget that. Your shift knob there, or if you had your column shifter, getting that too. Again, getting this nice and disinfected. Again, depends on how long you want to go. If you want it to be sanitized, what I have just done is good enough. If you want it disinfected, you may have to wait longer, but keep in mind you could be then potentially risking damaging the plastic or the material that you have inside your car. We'll get the cup holders next. Got to put your big gulps in there, make sure that they're nice and disinfected. And you, like I said earlier, we had to move the car due to lighting. We're doing this later on in the day, where the lighting is going to be less direct. So do this in the morning, do this in the evening if you don't have a garage. If you do have a garage, that's great. But you want to be out of direct sunlight when you do this, because the sun's rays can impact what we're doing too and potentially stain stuff worse. So you just don't want that to happen. So that's why we're doing this at this time of the evening. It's lower light. It's not going to be damaging. It's not hot in here either. And so that's going to be fine. So you've now, let's say you're done and you've now disinfected everything. I know for me that these disinfecting wipes leave behind a lot of little fibers. So I've got my trusty duster and I just hit the spots that I had before. And I can tell that now that everything is dried, everything feels very clean, and first and most importantly, I can tell that all my plastic and leather remains the same. I didn't discolor anything either, but again, hit all the spots up. Again, your touch screen may look a little bit, got a lot of residue on there. I'll have to probably wipe that off. But again, as long as you're wiping it off with a clean cloth, what you've done is great. So your car now is much better. You've not only cleaned it, hopefully you got rid of all those fast food packages, because any additional surfaces, the coronavirus can sit on that. So hopefully you got rid of that. You vacuumed your car as well, but you've cleaned it. And now, like we've been saying, you disinfect the spots that you touch the most. Don't forget, I almost forgot, because we're doing this sitting down, I'm not actually paying attention to it, your seatbelt. So get the seatbelt, get that disinfected. As you touch this every single time. Again, I've never, in all my years of car detailing, I've never disinfected a seatbelt. Now I have. Get it down there too, where it connects in, and you're good to go. So again, you have now cleaned your car. You have now disinfected the certain points in your car that you touch often. And again, like I said, trial and error with a lot of these things. Your surfaces are going to vary depending on the type of car you have. And so you just want to make sure that you're balancing cleaning the car, disinfecting the car for your health safety, but also making sure that you're not damaging your car either. Okay, so we're at the gas station now. Last thing with our detailing as well as being safe. Got my gloves on. Gas station is one of the grossest places, not only just because of gasoline, but how many people touch them. So make sure that you're using your gloves, or if you don't have your gloves, maybe use a tissue to touch the screen here for your different, your pin maybe, or things like that. So grabbing it, get my gas, type it in, put it in. But again, since we are using our gloves, we're good to go. If you don't have your gloves, then you're going to be making sure that you're touching this with your tissue. And if you don't even have that, maybe keep some hand sanitizer in your car. That way, once you are done touching these, you can then properly sanitize. Hopefully everybody found these tips to be helpful, and we'll get through this together. Stay safe.